Hi everyone, Linda Heldman here for Canadian Beats. I have on the phone with me today three members from Catherine Faint Entertainment. I have Cindy Sutch, Sylvia Mason, and Leigh Payne. Welcome, the three of you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Linda.
That's great. Um, I have been familiar with Catherine Faint Entertainment for many years through my association with the Country Music Association of Ontario and some other events. Can each of you tell me a little bit about Catherine Faint Entertainment and your role within the company? Starting with Cindy.
I have been with Catherine Faint Entertainment for just over 5 years now, and we are a really unique entertainment company. We offer a variety of services such as talent buying, and will purchase band and different things for venues and events. We also provide immigration services to many artists that cross our borders into Canada to perform here. But our most unique area would be our labor division. It's very diversified, and that is our biggest piece of our company for sure.
Awesome. Artist immigration really fascinates me, and someday we need to sit down and talk more about that, because I know our focus today
Okay.
is to talk more about the stage and event labor. But
Mm-hmm.
that to me just sounds really fascinating, because I know there can be a lot of hurdles in that whole process as well.
Oh, definitely, for sure. There are hurdles, in every area of our business, definitely. But absolutely, I'll be happy to chat with you one day about that.
Okay.
But we have, yeah, I'm sure Leigh could attest to all of the hurdles that he has had to jump through at our various client sites as well with our labor division.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Leigh, go ahead. Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do with Catherine Faint Entertainment.
I've been with CFE since about 2010. Got a call from a friend, can I turn up at Casino Rama to load out a band? Didn't really know what to expect, so I turned up. I was there about probably 15, 20 minutes and thought, hey, I've actually found something I want to do for the rest of my life. So at 38 years old, or 38 years young, whichever way you look at it, I actually found my little niche in life. So stuck with it and nagged and persuaded Sylvia to take me on and give me the opportunity to show my end of the spectrum. My background is actually manufacturing, so I'm trying to bring other aspects of work in careers into the entertainment industry and trying to hone things down that way. So stick with it and see where it goes from here. Really, it's been very pleasurable so far, and I just hope to be able to continue doing it, the way I'm doing it right now.
Great, great. So you keep pretty busy with all of this, because there's no shortage of shows, that's for sure. Sylvia, you're kind of the person in charge that oversees a lot of the stage and event labor. Can you tell us about yourself and your role with Catherine Faint Entertainment?
Sure. I've been with Kathy and I've been friends for about 30 years, and we worked together when I was young, and she and I were both young, working in the music business, and we worked with the same artists. So we were friends for a long time. And then one day she phoned me and said, "Why don't you quit your job and come and work with me, and we'll see what we can put together." So that was 13 years ago, and I did. And since then, Kathy had already had the company running for some time. She was a buyer at the casino, and was basically starting the labor part of it. Then there was some switching of management at Casino Rama, and they said basically you have to take over all the staging of our venue, and that's sort of where I came in, and we became, legitimate in terms of, health and safety and HR and all the legal stuff that you're supposed to do. So we took that on, and subsequently we ended up working with Fallsview Casino as well, where we have about 100 people working at both sites, and now we're expanding and we're going into creating jobs for our workers, because the casinos are not busy 40 hours a week, let's say. And these guys are hardworking and skilled, and so we wanted to give them new opportunities. So recently, we have expanded, and Leigh's been a big part of that. In that, he'll go to each job site. So we're working for various AV companies as a support for when they need it or they may be short with workers. And so right now our goal is, I've done a number of other things over the years, including artist management and publishing and that kind of thing, but the stage labor piece has really grown. And so we're continuing to hopefully make that bigger and better for all our workers. Cindy's experience in sales and marketing has been invaluable. And so this fall we plan to hit the road, get some sales, new clients, and Leigh will follow with sort of we kind of look at it as a foreman position where he can go from site to site, ensuring that our workers are doing a good job, which they are. I mean, really, we're quite impressed with everybody. But we're also looking into training newcomers to the business. I call them newbies, but that may be not so respectful. I'm not sure. But these are young people. They tend to be young people who want to work in the music business, but really have no idea how to get in. So recently we offered a free workshop for potential stagehands, and we hired our instructors to show them, what does it mean, what does it look like, what do you need to do, what do you need to know in terms of working for us. So that was quite successful. We had quite a number of young people come in, and we've already got a few of them working for us.
Mm-hmm. And we plan on taking these workshops all across Ontario. We're expanding into Durham region, out in the eastern region, as well as the GTA. So it will be a very useful tool to train ahead of time some new people that are interested in the business. Quite fascinating,
because a lot of kids, young people, go to the Trevises and the Harris Institute and Fanshawe, which is primarily focused in studio work as opposed to live. And we think there's a niche there that some training would help them transfer their skills from their education to practical and in live music scenarios, such as the festivals that we're working at this week, or the casinos where it's show after show after show.
Wow. That is impressive. You are basically a full package then when it comes to stage and event labor. It just like to say to people, hey, if you want to come join our team, we'll provide you training so that you can specialize in something that we need.
Eventually, yes. I mean, the first step of that is obviously being a stagehand, because we believe that everybody should load in a show, have an idea of what is really happening in the big picture. And then some people then go, oh, well, what is that guy doing over there? Oh, he's climbing, he's a rigger. He's climbing the truss and he's focusing, lights. Oh, well, that's interesting. Or lighting, or audio, or backline. I mean, from the stagehand, it's like the foundation. I don't want to say it's kindergarten, because it's not, because there are career stagehand people who are awesome. It's just it's a gateway basically to many other opportunities, or to be the best at that job itself.
It's like any job. If you work for a business, you usually start out in the mailroom and work yourself up.
Yeah.
So stagehand is kind of like the mailroom of the tech world.
Yes, exactly. Would you say that? Would you agree with that, Leigh?
Yeah, kind of in some respect, absolutely. But again, like you just said, to reiterate your point, there are people out there who, they start as a stagehand, they're so good at it and they enjoy it so much, they stay as a stagehand.
Yeah.
It's such a, I wouldn't say it's an odd profession, but it's certainly something which is, it's its own special thing. And the people who do it know about it and they want to stay doing what they're doing, and there's nothing else that interests them. It's a funny game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and every show is different, I would say, wouldn't you, Leigh? Like every show is different, so they have that diversification if they stay a stagehand,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can pretty much guarantee that even a repetitive artist coming through the doors, just as an example, Roger Hodgson, who comes through Rama every year, he brings a symphony orchestra, and even though the symphony orchestra comes through and it's the same music every year, it's still a different feeling. It's a different thing to do. Nothing's ever the same 100%. There's always something else on top.
Right.
Great. Now you've mentioned Casino Rama and Fallsview and certain festivals and stuff. So can you share who some of your clients are?
Well, those two for sure, and now we're also working with Rose Creek, who's headed up by the production company of Plan V, who works with Republic Live. So the Rose Creek gig is very exciting for us. We get to do that every summer. So far, the last 3 years have been very successful for us, and we plan to hang around as long as they have us. And then we also have contracts with, not contracts per se, I want to delete that part. We have connections with Frischkorn, Solotech, Metalworks, and a number of these smaller AV companies that may need, a couple of guys here, a couple of guys there. We have no issue, we're not planning to take over the world. We would just like to support where we can. So if it's 5 guys one day, 2 guys another day, no problem. We can handle that. Or if you need 30, we can also do that as well.
Great. Alrighty. So I guess this would be a question for Leigh. Shows just don't happen. It takes so much behind the scenes work. Can you tell me some of the aspects of putting a show together?
Yeah, for sure. Everything starts from when the show is advanced by the production team. They advance the show. They ask us if we can provide certain requirements. So they might need 8 bodies for one job, 6 bodies for another, and so on and so forth. And then we basically provide the labour for that. We're given the equipment and a room to do it in. And we go in, we set the show up, the show happens, we tear it down, we go home. It's pretty simple, but a lot of the time what you'll find is the general public don't actually understand what goes on behind it in order to make it happen. I mean, for instance, we've been here at Spurs now since last Wednesday doing site work just for the entertainment side of it. What they don't understand is the other stuff that goes on. Even things like cutting the grass takes time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maintaining the roadways, bringing in washrooms, so on and so forth. So it's 550 acre site. It's absolutely massive to try and to maintain some sort of, overall, what am I trying to say? Sense of organization, I suppose. It's such a huge thing. I mean, I can be at one side of the park and get a call. Can you please, meet me on the other side of the park? I need you over there right now. So you're looking at a 10-minute drive in a golf buggy.
Wow.
So, from A to B. Logistically, it's very challenging, and you kind of have to plan your day accordingly.
Mm-hmm. So you say you're at Burles Creek, and so it's WayHome weekend that starts on Friday. Also, Boots and Hearts is there. So is there anything for WayHome that you can leave set up for Boots and Hearts, or is it a complete teardown once WayHome is over?
Well, the stages are set up right now for WayHome, so certain things can stay. The stages obviously stay. Things like the lights and the video change, the decor side of it, with all the artistry and things like that. A lot of that changes too. So not quite sure what happened there.
I think we lost Cindy.
Phone technical. No, it was phone technical. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. It was an instrumental interlude. That's quite all right.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, things. So we'll finish the WayHome Festival on Sunday. Come 10, I think it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Sunday night. As soon as that show goes down, the lights come on and we come out and start work. And we'll start changing over, ready for Boots and Hearts. So again, a lot of it can stay, a lot of it goes. It's dependent on the show requirements, what stays.
But the stages are staying, correctly? Yeah, the
stages stay to a degree, but the things that surround the stages change because of the theme of the festival. Right. As soon as we change over Boots and Hearts, we do the same thing again. We go in, we do the show, we wait until the show finishes on the Sunday night, we tear it down and go to the next one, which is the festival, which happens on the 18th to the 20th of August, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So your summer sounds like ours. I mean, it's just, okay, new weekend, new show. Okay, where are we this weekend? And it's just a continual set up, tear down all summer long.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, since we've been involved out here, it's pretty much a place you can come to. We arrive in mid-July and we stay now until middle of August kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a bit later this year because of the extra festival. And also you have the guys that do the job. They'll move from site to site and they'll work all summer exactly the same way. So they'll just move from here. They'll pack up. They'll go on to the next site and do the next festival.
Great. 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 So how many people are usually on a crew for an event like WayHome and Boots and Hearts?
It depends on again on the setup and the setup requirements and the length of time you have to do it. What happens normally is they'll put the show package together and decide they're going to build a stage during 1 week. They'll build another stage during 1 week, and then production loading will start 3 or 4 days prior to the show starting. So, for instance, we've got trucks rolling in yesterday and today to actually set up lights, audio, and video on the stages. Then tomorrow is the first day for the bands to load in. So the bands load in tomorrow starting at noon, and then they'll go on right through till I think it's about 11 o'clock tomorrow night on the different stages, loading the bands in ready to start for show call on Friday.
Wow. I love the technical side of it all.
It can be anything from to actually build a stage. We normally just for instance, we built the B stage at the Bills Creek at the beginning of June, and I think we had somewhere in the region of a dozen riggers and 16 stagehands, I believe it was, a couple of fork operators, and we basically come in and build the stage and get it ready for when we need to start loading the production.
Great. Okay. Just to have some fun. Musicians have some really crazy stories from being on the road. Your crews must have some interesting stories too. Are there any you'd like to share?
Tell them about Martin shortly.
Martin Short?
Yeah. Your debut on stage.
My debut on stage, yeah. I was asked to take part in the Steve Martin Short show at the casino last year, I believe it was. The manager of the entertainment centre came to see me and said, would I be interested? And I said, well, I'll help out wherever I can, that, whatever it is you need me to do. No big deal. I'll take it on the chin type of thing. So they came round to me a couple of weeks later and told me what I had to do, which involved wearing a kilt and a full Scottish regalia for the show call, which for me to wear a Scottish kilt is a bit of an insult, really, considering I'm from Wales. Anyway, I went along with it and would have much preferred a Welsh kilt. But whatever, right? It's all for the show. So basically, all I had to do was to walk on stage and perform a little jig or a little dance with him. He jumped up in my arms, and I pretended he was a set of bagpipes. So he stuck his thumb in my mouth, and that was pretty much it.
Oh my goodness!
And we have pictures.
Yeah, we've got photographs, and I believe there's video footage there somewhere too. One of the guys recorded it for me, so that
Oh
my
my goodness!
Show my great-grandchildren.
That sounds fantastic. That's good. Cindy, you have to send me a picture. I'll add it to our pictures that we're going to have.
Yeah, for sure. We've got some media this, and we'll get it sent on to you as soon as we can.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I guess my last question would be that it looks like Catherine Faint Entertainment seems to be continually expanding into new areas of the entertainment industry. So what does the future look like for you and the company?
Well, we are always moving forward. That is certainly one of our philosophies to,
to embrace what's out there and add our own special niche to it, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
We're launching our new website at the end of the summer. Cindy and I will be on the road, meeting new people and creating more jobs, hopefully, for our guys. And also, again, focusing on our workshops, trainings, orientation. A lot of our guys come to us not knowing anything, but are willing to give it a try. And so we look at it as our job of educating them, ensuring that they know about tools and licenses, the government rules, that kind of thing. So education is certainly is on our radar, as well as ensuring some more work for our guys who are very loyal, very committed, very hardworking, and we're all part of the team. We're all part of the package. We do our part, they do their part, and so far we've been quite successful and happy.
Great.
Yeah, just to interject on that too. From our perspective, we've got a group of core guys who we use for our 24/7 operations, and the other thing we're looking into is to keep those guys plus anybody else which we're taking on board, is to keep them happy and to keep them busy. Put food in their mouths, pay the rent, pay the mortgages, type of thing. So the more we can bring on board, and the more people we can keep busy, the happier everybody is. And as a team, the crew themselves, there's so much experience, wealth, and knowledge amongst them all, and the feeling and the camaraderie that goes on is something else. It's quite special, and it's so nice to be a part of, right? So it's a nice place to be.
You become a family.
We look out for each other.
Oh yeah.
We're very blessed. We are all very blessed.
Great.
Yeah, and regardless of where you go, whether it be for a corporate gig, for a rock show, it could be to install fencing for the Toronto Indy. We're actually quite well respected out there because our guys are who they are and what they do, and they continue to do what they're doing. It makes us look really, really good. So kudos to the crew, because they're the guys who actually do it for us, right?
Yes, they're the ones slugging their, really hard work. And the other part of that, too, is that we are deemed a temporary help agency because we can't offer every day 50 guys working everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the government's, that's the name the government gives us, or that department. And interestingly enough, for a temporary help agency, I would say 60% of our guys have been with us for more than 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15 years. Like, it's amazing how long these guys have been with us.
Dedication there.
They alarm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've been lucky that they've stuck around, because it's a big old world out there, and there's lots of, there's a few companies like ours out there, and they've managed to hang with us, and we appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Great. Awesome. And if anyone is interested in seeking employment for one of your crews, where would they contact you?
Yeah. They go to our website and contact us through the admin email address, or they can call the office anytime. The website is Catherine.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Our website is CatherineFaintEntertainment.com.
Okay, and we will put all the ways of connecting with you on when this posts. So this is great. Thank you so very much. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I don't think so, Linda. I'd just like to thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you and to share our story and how excited we are to grow our company and expand across Ontario. And we really appreciate everything that you have done today.
Hey, I enjoy talking to people who are inside the music, which is what this little feature that we're doing with Canadian Beats is called. It gives people more an in-depth idea as to what else goes on in the music business. And this is a great way of sharing, because you seem to be very unique with what you do.
And if I could just add, Linda, we've sort of always been on the low on the radar, because Kathy herself is very humble and doesn't want to make a big splash and doesn't want to say, here I am, whereas we're a little bit more like that. Like, let's go. We want to go. We want to get going. So, but to add to that is that, with her vision and her support, we've been able to come to her and say, okay, we've got all these ideas, and let's move forward. So we feel lucky to be with her as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she's created that culture that, she's always says, if you invest in yourself, we'll invest in you.
I take
Your
it.
tagline.
I take it she says that a lot.
Sorry?
I take it she says that a lot.
No, she just came up with it. We just started
Oh.
talking about it because, and we thought, but that's so true because in this business, these guys are basically independent contractors. You know, they go from one gig to another.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we offer you opportunity for training and workshops and orientation in this business, you're investing in yourself by attending. You're investing in yourself by, getting your hard hat and your boots and your tools. And you come to us, we'll show you how it's done at this site or in this area of business, and then we all win because they're, empowering themselves, and we are benefiting from their skills, talent, and desires to work hard.
Great, great. Well,
yeah, so it's definitely a concerted team effort.
I thank the three of you so much for joining me today to talk about what you do. And best of luck at WayHome and Boots and Hearts coming up. And
Thank you.
And I'm Linda Hillman for Canadian Beats.